Love you
All
too.
right, welcome everyone again for joining us. We're doing this webinar style, so you won't be able to see everybody's face. You get to see my face. Also, I get a chance to talk, and like no one can stop me from talking. But I'm going to try to do this as efficiently as I can because I know everybody is very, very busy. We all are, right? We just raced our kids off to lacrosse practice and dance practice, and there's a youth group tonight at the church. So I know everybody's really busy. But I thank you all for carving out the time to listen in and learn more about the doTERRA opportunity. Now, this webinar is for anyone. You could be brand new. You could have never even shared doTERRA before. You might not even be enrolled, but you've heard people talk about doTERRA, that there's an opportunity attached to it, and you want to learn more about that. This is for you. You might be someone who is a wellness advocate, or who is a wholesale customer with doTERRA, and you have an interest in sharing more. This is for you. You might be a seasoned wellness advocate, and you're looking for ways to share this opportunity with others. This is for you. All right. So it's for everyone. I am the perfect person to talk about the opportunity because this opportunity has changed our life so incredibly much. And you're going to hear about that. I could talk for hours and hours and hours about that, but I'm going to try and keep it fairly narrow. But my hope is that what you hear today not only gives you information, but it also inspires you. You see in it something that you can connect with, that it gives you a why for digging in with doTERRA more, okay? Because I can give you lots and lots of reasons. We can talk for days, but I'm just trying to inspire you here, hopefully in a half an hour, possibly a little bit more. All right, so like I said, there are lots of reasons. Hang on a second. There we go. There are lots of reasons why doTERRA. And again, this is the business opportunity. There's lots of reasons why doTERRA's oils are the best and why you should use them. This presentation is focused on why doTERRA is a great business opportunity. Okay, we're going to talk about each one of these little bubbles, not in too much detail. But before we do that, I want to start with the personal stuff, okay, and tell a little bit about our story and who we are. My name's Gary Sammons. My wife is Carrie Sammons. We are presidential diamonds in doTERRA. Those are our three kids. They are now 14, 12, and 9. Little Emily, the redhead, will be 10 next month. So our journey started with doTERRA in 2009. Betsy Holmes, she's a double diamond in doTERRA. She is a friend of ours, a friend of Carrie's at the time, shared doTERRA with her. Our 9-month-old son, that boy that you see there, he could not sleep through the night. He was dealing with digestive upset, acid reflux, to be honest, as a baby. And so he was not sleeping through the night at all, which meant my wife, Carrie, was not sleeping through the night at all. I was getting some sleep. I had to get up and go to work. I'm an attorney, by the way, in case I forget to tell you, I'm an attorney. I was working full-time, long hours at Nationwide Insurance, downtown Columbus, Ohio. So that was our life before doTERRA came into our life. All right. So miraculously, after dealing with Connor for 9 months and not knowing what to do, we didn't want to use drugs. I think Carrie considered them and even had Connor take something. It didn't do any help, but she was about to pull her hair out. Betsy shared Digestin essential oil, which is a doTERRA blend of oils that is great for anything digestion related. She said, just put 1 drop on his chest with some coconut oil and see what it does. So that night she was skeptical, but she was open to natural options. She applied that on his chest that night, and he never had a problem with it again. He slept through the night that night and every night since. Okay, he's a great sleeper. So that was a miraculous moment for her. I was still skeptical. I didn't believe it. I thought, it's just a coincidence because I really didn't know what these things were. But from that, Carrie got super passionate about them. She wanted to share them with the world. That's the kind of person she is. So she began sharing them with the world, and Betsy helped her do that in an efficient way, actually, to do it as kind of a part-time fill-in-the-cracks business, all right? So she was doing one-on-ones with people and teaching classes, and at the time, I thought, this is great. It gives her another thing to do. It is a passion of hers, and I support it. So I saw it as like a hobby, nothing that would turn into anything. Little did I know that Carrie was, at that time, she was a mom. She was working part-time. She was trying to raise kids. She was looking for more purpose in her life. I didn't learn this till a few years later, that she really was pursuing it not just for fun, but because she was looking for more purpose in her life and more ways to connect with people and bless people and teach and share. So it was perfect for her. So I'm supporting it as a hobby. I didn't see it as a business. I just still didn't believe in the oils. I then had my own personal experience with the oils. Long story short, I had a viral issue I had been dealing with for over 20 years. It caused me a lot of problems, at least 3 times a year for spans of time. And with 1 drop of Melissa essential oil, which is highly antiviral, it was able to wipe out that issue once and for all, similar to Connor's experience. All right. And I swear to goodness, that's exactly how it went down. And I was blown away by that. I was in tears thinking, my God, something that God made for us that we distill in a pure way and apply to places that we need it, provide healing. That was miraculous for me. Okay. So now I'm a believer in the oils. I'm not giving a hard time about the oils, and I'm kind of starting to share with others myself, but I'm still working full time as an attorney, downtown Nationwide Insurance in downtown Columbus, Ohio. Working long hours. I really didn't get to see these beautiful little kids very much because I was gone when it was dark. I didn't come home till it was dark. I'd kiss them to bed, and that was it. So I didn't love that part of it. I did love that I had a job. I loved that I was able to provide for my family, but I wasn't super happy with my corporate experience. And you'll hear about that in a second. So I know stories are great. I know I'm giving you probably more than you want to hear, but stories do tell a lot. Okay. So I'm going to keep going. So I was not bought in yet to quite the business side of doTERRA. That happened for me when I went to convention, doTERRA's convention in 2011. I had an incredible experience witnessing just the power of the company, the incredible integrity of the owners, all that they were doing, the growth, meeting wonderful women leaders, wonderful male leaders, men who were doing it as a business themselves, men who were doing it to support their wives. Okay. And I was bought in. Not only was I bought in now to the power of the oils themselves, but the power of the company and the power of the business model. Okay. And it was at that moment that I finally saw this because look, Carrie had been doing this for about 2 years at that point, and we were receiving checks, right? So she was sharing and teaching. And as a result, we were getting checks in the mail. And again, I just thought it was like hobby money, but it was continuing to grow. And so I wanted to know more about that. How are these checks being developed? Like what's the business model here? So once I learned that at convention, I dug in more, and here's exactly what happened. This was my aha moment when I was 100% bought in, the penny had dropped. I came back from convention in 2011. Carrie might say it was 2012. I think it was 2011. I sat down Monday morning after that convention in my office at Nationwide Insurance. I shut the door. I'm starting to type out a email response to a client because they'd asked a legal question that I had to answer. And I'm sitting there typing this out, and the thought that God gave me was, Gary, are you going to keep pounding out? Again, I'm very thankful for the job that I had, but here is the word that I received. Are you going to keep pounding out these emails for these folks and help them achieve their dreams? Are you going to join forces with your spouse and allow me to have you and Carrie achieve the dreams that I have for your life? That's exactly what he said to me. And it gets me teared up to think about that. But I went home, I told Carrie, I said, honey, let's make a plan for me to leave this behind. There are better things for us, okay, with this opportunity that we've been given, okay? It is an incredible blessing in our life, and it gets me a little teared up, but it's the truth. So then we made a plan. Okay, fine. At that point, we were Diamond. I'd been helping with the business some to get us there, but nothing, because I was working full time, I couldn't help much. But I'm like, imagine how much more I can help if I'm freed up to do that with you. So our goal was to get to Blue Diamond. You'll learn a little bit more. If you don't know what that is, you'll learn more about that later. Get to Blue Diamond, and I will leave my work. That's exactly what we did. Okay, so that was exactly almost to the day 7 years ago. So April 21st, I believe, will be our 7-year anniversary of me leaving the corporate world and doing this 100% with my spouse. And I could not be happier. I mean, you'll hear some more of this as we go on. But just the freedom that it's given us, the opportunity to spend time with this beautiful family that I have, the opportunity to get to know some amazing people, to grow personally. I have grown in ways that in the legal world, I know it sounds crazy, but it's not crazy, okay? This is far, far, far better than the world that I had before. I'm just gonna say that, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. For me, that's how it has played out, okay? It has been far more enriching and just amazing, all right? So it's not everybody's experience exactly how ours worked. That's not everybody's experience, but whatever your experience will be, it will be tremendous, okay? And so, yeah, let's move on. So the other thing I wanted to say about that as we move on is just, I mentioned this already a little bit, just the incredible people you get to meet. This is a party that we planned for our team. I guess this would have been 3 conventions ago. Tons of fun, just such a blessing. This is nothing I would have been able to do in the corporate legal world. That's me to the far right. You can see my face. Carrie's in there. This hot, sexy one there. There's a lot of hot, sexy ones in there. Mark Voss there in the colored Woodstock print. He's the sexiest of all. But these are folks on our team. There's an executive, Dr. Hill, in there, and his wife. They're wonderful. Anyway, so just want to show that. This is some of our team leaders. We rented at this event. We rented a photo booth bus, like a VW van bus. That was a photo booth. We had lots of fun with that. And then this is me at that event as well with a good friend of mine, Brent Westermeyer, whom I miss. He's down in Cincinnati now. But his spouse, Lindsay Westermeyer, is one of the dynamic leaders on our team. So just, by the way, that's an iced tea that I'm drinking. I mean, I think I was drinking beer too, but anyway. So just wanted to show some of those fun pictures because it has been an incredibly fun journey. I could do that I could show you fun slide after fun slide after fun slide. All right. If we have time, I'll share you another really fun story. All right, so let's get into this, all right? So I want to share, for those of you who would like to know more reasons why doTERRA is so great, not just, wow, Gary's had a great ride. Here are some reasons why you would want to consider doTERRA as a business opportunity, all right? So you may be someone who's thought about it. You may be looking for something new in your life. You may be wanting to inspire someone else in their life, all right? Let's go first to purity and sustainability. Okay, what does that mean? So why is that important with doTERRA? So doTERRA literally sets the standard for purity when we talk about essential oils. They literally set the standard. Every other essential oil company is trying to get to where they are with purity and efficacy, and they truly have set the standard. They source the oils in a pure, they steam distill them or cold press them, take the oils and nothing added, nothing taken away. They have a certified pure therapeutic grade standard, which I think they had to change the name because of some trademark issue. But anyway, CPTG standard, nothing added, nothing taken away. Now look at this next slide here. If you're anyone who likes testing and you're like a microbiologist or something, you can knock yourself out with the list of testing that the oils go through. It is very, very extensive. In fact, you can go to a website called sourcetoyou.com. And when you have an essential oil from doTERRA, on the bottom of that bottle is a number. You can put in that number. That is the batch number for the oil that is in your bottle. You can go to sourcetoyou.com, put that number, and it'll give you the testing results of each one of these tests for that batch. So basically you're confident that your bottle is pure, nothing's added, nothing's taken away. Why does that matter? Why does purity matter? Well, a lot of companies will add a lot of fillers to them. It saves money. It might make something smell a different way, but it makes it unnatural and synthetic in many ways. And in fact, 95% or more are synthetic in some way. doTERRA doesn't add anything to it. Why don't they? Because they want the oils to be the most effective. So that is a great reason to partner with doTERRA, because you're dealing with a company. When you go to share them with somebody, okay, you can honestly say, these are the best, okay? These are absolutely the best. Now, going with purity is sustainability, okay? What does sustainability mean when we talk about essential oils, and why do we care? It simply means if you look at the bottom of this, it mentions a concept called co-impact sourcing. What co-impact sourcing means is when doTERRA sources essential oils, it impacts us as users of the oils, okay, our life and our health is impacted in great ways. And it impacts the community, the village, the country, the people from where it is sourced, okay? doTERRA works directly with the farmers. They cut out the middleman for decades, centuries. Essential oil production was very shady, very dirty. There were middlemen who were evil, middle women too. I don't want to be sexist. Middle people, okay? Middle people. And they would give a very, very low wage to the farmers producing the essential oils, harvesting them, and then they would raise the prices and sell them to the perfume industry for jacked up prices, and it was terrible. So doTERRA has cut out that middleman. They have built into the local economies of countries, and you'll see here in a second how many countries we're talking about, all around the world, third world countries in many cases, to build up those local economies, those local farmers, and it's a wonderful thing. Co-impact. It impacts us and the communities that they work with. All right, that's why that matters. So there's another reason why you can feel good about partnering with a company like doTERRA. Let's move on. So this gives you, I'm going to blow this map up here in a second here to show you all of the countries that they source these oils from. In fact, I'll do that now to show the impact of this co-impact sourcing. So this slide shows us there are over 140 original single essential oils that doTERRA sources around the world from over 45 different countries. All right. So it's a beautiful thing. You know, they're having an impact. And why? Another reason, I didn't even mention this, but why else is that important? So when you talk about the potency of the effectiveness of the essential oils, in simple terms, they are partnering with the artisans, okay, the farmers, the artisans, and the countries where the weather's perfect, the soil is perfect, the people, the farmers are perfect, they know exactly how to cultivate the most potent lavender essential oil, Melissa essential oil, okay? And so that is where doTERRA is sourcing them from. Now, there are other companies who will create their own farms and control the whole farms in the States or in, you know, somewhere where the land is cheap, and the potency is not going to be as good. So that's another reason why partnering with doTERRA is so great. Now, if we think more about the impact that doTERRA is having around the world, this slide is a good one. It shows all of the jobs that are supported around the world. This is just with sourcing the oils, okay, and the impact that it has with the local communities, all right? So by 2025, they expect to have 500 to 1 million folks employed, folks who would not have had a job otherwise, okay? That's what we're talking about, or people who would have been given this crappy wage by these crappy middlemen or middle people, all right? 92,000 farmers in network, 72 small-scale farmers, so just a lot of farmers being impacted. I don't even know what a wild harvester is, but you know, you can figure it out yourself. All right, so here's a picture of Carrie, my wife, who you just saw a second ago, and you probably know if you know me, and my daughter Madeline. They were in Kenya. So doTERRA loves to send wellness advocates in doTERRA on what are called co-impact sourcing trips. They want you to get your hands dirty and experience what it's like to work with sourcing these oils, okay, and just see the process and to experience what that's like. And I've gotten a chance to do a couple of them, and it is quite an experience, okay? So here they are composting, I have it written down here. It's composting, those are tea tree fields, okay, Melaleuca fields, and they're composting them. So it's awesome. That was a great trip for them. This was in Kenya. Let's move on. So here's another photo. This was in the Big Island in Hawaii. Carrie and I got to go there. It was a horrible trip. Just kidding. It was beautiful, beautiful. And in Hawaii on the Big Island, doTERRA has purchased tens of thousands of acres to engage in the largest reforestation. I believe, I may be exaggerating a little bit. I was told it was the largest reforestation effort in the world. If it is, or if it's not, it's a big one, okay? So they're planting these Hawaiian sandalwood trees, all right? Because for decades, Hawaii had wonderful, beautiful source of Hawaiian sandalwood, but it was not there. So they are replanting that. And this is actually us planting that little tree with the tag on it. The bigger one that you can see that's kind of closer to me is one that Carrie and I got to plant together on a co-impact sourcing trip. And that tag actually they'll watch. I can actually see how that tree is doing. So hopefully it's still alive and we planted it properly. And then that brown line is the irrigation. So hopefully it's still alive. I haven't checked in a while on my little plant, my little sandalwood plant. But so that creates a tap. We'll always have sandalwood because of that effort. And sandalwood's awesome. All right, so let's move on. What are some more reasons why doTERRA is great? Well, the next little bubble on our chart is growth. Okay, now doTERRA has, before I switch to the next slide, doTERRA has had tremendous growth. Like I mentioned, so doTERRA started in 2008. Our journey started with doTERRA shortly after in 2009. And many of you know who've been around for a while, you know that doTERRA has had incredible growth, quite simply because of what I've said already, which is doTERRA creates and has produced the most potent, powerful essential oils. And when people get them on their bodies, they experience incredible health benefits. And that is what the world that has been introduced to doTERRA has experienced. So that is why, here's my little perfect place to share this. Why does any company succeed? Any company succeeds and any business succeeds because it is providing solutions, okay? When you think of Amazon, okay, everybody knows and uses Amazon. Whether you like to use them or not, you may miss the mom and pop shops. I know I do, but we all use Amazon regardless because it is so incredibly convenient to go to your computer, okay, order toilet paper and have it show up that day, okay? Every time I do that, I personally I do a little air shake with Jeff Bezos, who's the CEO and founder of Amazon. I shake his hand and I say, thank you, Jeff Bezos. You have provided a solution for me, okay? I don't have to wait in line anymore at Walmart and waste an hour and a half of my day doing that. Now, sometimes I like to do that still, but if I don't want to, Jeff Bezos has provided a solution for me, okay? That's what business is all about. And that's why doTERRA has had so much success, because they are providing solutions. And as wellness advocates, that's exactly what we get to do. I'll talk about that more in a second. But they've had incredible growth. They're over $2 billion company. Will continue to grow simply because, well, the essential oil market, if you look at projections for it, okay, the world, because of doTERRA, and I'm not lying, because of doTERRA has literally taken a small little niche essential oil market and made it this big, okay, for the entire world. And because of that, folks who follow industries, they know that the essential oil industry has a huge room for growth, and doTERRA is the leader in that industry, okay? So they will continue to grow. This slide's really cool because it compares doTERRA to other direct selling companies. The red numbers are losses, are going down. The black ones are going up. So you see there doTERRA, and this is 2019 revenue, okay? We don't have 2020 revenue figures yet for this slide, but it shows that doTERRA had greater than 5% growth, which in the direct selling industry is tremendous, okay? And, so, and this is a great place also for me to say, why did doTERRA choose direct selling? Because it is the best way for them to distribute their oils, in that it is a person-to-person business. It's much more effective than creating a product with a fancy label and having a commercial on TV and putting that product on a shelf at Whole Foods and trying to sell it, okay? It's just not as personal. It's cold. I don't want to buy oils like that. I want someone to talk to me about them, talk to me about their experience, get the oils on me. That's why Carrie fell in love with them, because her friend Betsy shared them with her. And that's what we get to do. We get to provide solutions for folks, all right? And that person gets blessed by what you shared with them, and there might be an opportunity that they want to become a lifelong customer because they want to make those oils part of their life, all right? So that's inspiring to me. I'm going to show you a slide really quick if you're fairly new to doTERRA, just to show how legitimate doTERRA is and how they are here for the long run. This is their corporate office in Salt Lake City, Utah, and this is just their core headquarter buildings. There are many others around this building and throughout Utah, their distribution centers. They actually have offices throughout the world. So They are here to stay. They are here to stay. All right. So let's move on then. Let's go back to ground zero. Okay, where have we been? We've talked about purity and sustainability. We've talked about growth, where I'm at on time. All right, I'm going to keep plowing through this. In fact, I'm talking fast. I know when other people share, we have a pastor at our church that talks fast sometimes. I like when he pauses and takes a breath. Let's just pause and take a breath. Good for me, good for you. Now you're ready to hear some more. All right, here I go. All right, so let's go to this retention bubble. What does retention mean when we talk about doTERRA's business model and why it's good for you? All right, so doTERRA's retention rate is 60 to 70%, which is off the charts when you're talking about direct selling companies. In fact, any company, to be frank with you, the average within the direct selling industry is 15 to 20. In fact, I think 15 to 20 is kind of high. But what that means for us is, so retention rate means folks that are regularly, yearly, every 3 months, every 6 months, purchasing new product, all right? They're with you for life. They're with you for long periods of time. Why? Because the oils have greatly impacted their life, like it has ours, okay? And we've made it part of our lifestyle. It's now something that we can't do without, all right? Just like water or vegetables, all right? It's part of our life. And that's why they've had such a high retention rate, which is wonderful. Now, the great thing about that, as you think about opportunities and as a business, is it creates a residual income for you. We're going to look briefly at the compensation plan, not very long, but as you think about this as a business and the income that you can make, this retention level really creates that residual income, so that once you share doTERRA with others and it becomes part of their life, you also then receive benefits financially from that, okay? You're paid compensation on a residual basis. So every month they keep buying, you keep receiving residual income from that. It's a beautiful thing. We talk about the pipeline that you're creating, okay? You're not, I was working paycheck to paycheck. I was getting paid well, but if I stopped working, I stopped getting paid, okay? This residual income that you receive from doTERRA because of this retention rate is residual, meaning it keeps going even if I stop. Now, I don't stop forever. If I stop forever, it will eventually, the spigot will stop producing. But it produces a constant residual income, and it allows me to stop and pause, which I'm going to share with you in a second. So, all right, let's move on. Now we've gotten through the top row, we're going to move on to leadership. And when I talk about leadership, there's two types. There's the leadership of doTERRA. They have proven leadership in their company. We've got a chance to meet and know all the founders in doTERRA. I can vouch for them. I am a person of integrity, and I can tell you they are all people of integrity. In fact, they probably have way more integrity than I do. I'm a little shady sometimes, if that's all right. You know, you got to do what you got to do. Just kidding. But anyway, they are wonderful people. They have servant hearts, which I'm going to share in a second. And all of them, okay, you're going to see a picture of them right here. They're all still very active in leading doTERRA. Okay, they are the founders. In fact, the three original founders are Emily Wright, who's in the purple dress there. You figured that was her. Dave Sterling, who is immediately to her right, and then Dr. Hill, who's immediately to his right. Those are the kind of the original founders, and then quickly grab the other four in their executive team. So they lead the ship, all right? And they do a wonderful job. But the other great thing about that is you don't have just one person at the head. They make decisions together. They don't always agree, but they always come to the right decision, all right? So let's move on. That's the great leadership at the top. By the way, why this is important, a great analogy is if you go paragliding. I had the chance to go paragliding in Lucerne. No, it wasn't Lucerne. It was Interlaken, Switzerland. Okay, if you've ever been to Switzerland, you might have been to Interlaken. It's gorgeous. Interlaken means interlakes. There's like 3 lakes or 2 lakes and a bunch of mountains, and it's gorgeous. So we go up on this cliff, and we're gonna paraglide. I've never paraglided before, and I'm like, honey, you signed us up for paragliding, and I'm just gonna trust. Okay, we're going up this hill, up this cliff, you know, in this beat up SUV or whatever, in a group, and we're all a little nervous. Not a whole lot of talking going on because we don't know what's gonna happen, other than falling off a cliff. So we're going up this hill, and we are we're getting all strapped in. When you paraglide for the first time, you go with partner who knows what they're doing. Okay, it's tandem paragliding. They're in one little hatch and you're in the other hatch, or hammock, I guess, whatever. And you use the same, same parachute, but you literally are then running down the short little hill, and there's a drop off cliff, like, we're talking a couple thousand feet, I don't know, a long way down, many hundreds of feet to your death if this parachute doesn't catch you. Okay, you're going to die. So who would you want to be partnered with, all right, if you were going paragliding like that for the first time? Someone who has been through the ringer. These guys have all been in the industry and in the business for many, many, many years. They all know essential oils. They all know direct selling, and they built a powerful company over the last 11 years. So that's who you want to partner with. You want to partner with trusted leaders. The guy I was paragliding with, he'd been doing it for 25 years. I was nervous, but he made me feel comfortable. So you want to partner with someone you trust. All right. Okay, where are we now? We've gotten through leadership. Let's talk quickly about how doTERRA is debt-free, and it's a private company, okay? They're completely debt-free. That is something that is extremely important to them. They want us all to be debt-free too. And we are, by the grace of God and by the grace of doTERRA, okay? But being debt-free is important to them. They're also a privately held company, which means they don't have any investors to answer to. They don't have any stockholders to answer to. And why that's great for all of us is they can, when problems arise or when answers need to be made, come to, they make the right decision for the right people, for all of the right groups, okay? And they make that decision amongst those 7 people that you see. And of course, they use advisors to help them make those decisions, but they're not beholden to wrong persuasions, okay? Sometimes that can happen when you have investors, all right? And so it's a wonderful thing, all right? So it makes them more agile. It makes them feel like more of a small company, even though they have all the benefits of a larger company, all right? It makes them easily more adaptable to everything, all right? By the way, I didn't share about these folks. They mortgaged everything that they had, okay? Those 3 original founders I just shared with you, they mortgaged everything they had. They literally took every penny they had to start this company. They did not take any outside funding. They had opportunities to give up half of the company to take in, I can't remember how many millions, to start the company. They refused to do it. Okay, they lived for, I think, 18 months, the first 18 months without a salary. Okay, they said, nope, we have faith in what this company is going to do and how it's going to impact the world. And God bless them for it. All right, so debt-free and privately held. Now, let's get back to business. So this even more applies to you. Why else is this opportunity great? Well, doTERRA, because they've been around now for 11 years, when we started, when Carrie was doing this, the bottles didn't even hardly have labels on them. We didn't have any systems. We didn't have any online support. We didn't have websites. We didn't have any printed literature. We kind of made them all up ourselves. And, that was kind of fun and exciting, but it was also a lot of work. And to get the same output you can today, it took a lot of effort. Today, there's plug-and-play systems, plug-and-play support, okay, that doTERRA just hands to you. And I'm going to show you a couple of those tools here towards the end. But it just hands to you and says, you want to do this as a business? Run with us, all right? Run with us. Also, it mentions on here the oil community, all right? There is now, as you probably know, a huge oil community in this country and many other countries. No one really knew what, essential oils were this niche group of weirdos, okay? They weren't really weirdos, but we thought of them as weirdos at the time, right? Now they're no longer weirdos, okay? Everybody uses essential oils, for crying out loud, right? So you have a huge oil community that you can tap into, and it's much easier to share. There's legitimacy, there's credibility when you're sharing these essential oils because of that oil community, all right? So let's move on. Also, let's talk about this for a second. doTERRA provides a great virtual opportunity. Now, because of what we've all been dealing with for the past year, this may appeal to many, a virtual opportunity. For us, in our business, we have always been offline. We have built our business organically, face-to-face, person-to-person, skin-to-skin, handshake to handshake, belly to belly, all right? Getting the oils on people is how we've grown our business. And you can do that virtually, okay? We have started to kind of segue into that ourselves. We still do the predominance of our business person-to-person. But if you are great at sharing and growing a business virtually, the tools are there for you, okay? doTERRA has built up a wonderful, I'm looking at the bottom bullet point there, a wonderful social media marketing program. There's a class that they teach you how to share doTERRA through social media. We typically support our team through social media, but share, face to face. But you can also, and we're starting to get into sharing more with folks virtually. Why? Because a lot of people live in the virtual space, and a lot more do now than did a year ago. So you don't have to do virtual. We will always say that. But if that is something that appeals to you, you can do that. All right. And there are tools to do it with. So where are we now? So we've gotten through, I think, the first 2 rows there. So we are now going to, in fact, we got through everything except for service culture. Let's talk about service culture for a while. This is why I truly believe, by the way, let's all take a break. I'm talking fast. We'll take another breath. All right. You're taking lots of notes. I know. I can't see any of you, so I have no idea if you're even paying attention. All I see is my beautiful face and that screen, and maybe that's all you see. But let's take a deep breath. That was a little fast, but I'm just going to pause for a second and let you guys catch up, catch your breath, and then we'll move on. We are in the home stretch here. Okay. I want everybody to catch all of this and not be overwhelmed. I don't want to give you too much information. I want to inspire you. All right. But service culture is why doTERRA truly, I believe, why they exist. Okay. Those 7 people that you saw in that picture, they are all about service and they mean it. So I know, when you go to Target and you're checking out, they have that big thing on the board there that says, 5% of our sales go to help this organization or that organization. I'm kind of cynical when I see that stuff. There may be, I know there's good people at Target and the corporate offices that want to help. And, I think I see that as we want people to see that so they think we're doing good. That is not what doTERRA is about. Truly, 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 doTERRA is doing the good for the purpose of doing the good. Okay. They have the Healing Hands Foundation, which gives millions of dollars to causes all around the world. They also partner with wellness advocates, many of them on our team, who have their own local projects. Okay. doTERRA will, if you apply that project to doTERRA, to the Healing Hands organization, they'll do a matching fund program, $10,000. You raise $10,000, they'll match it and give another $10,000. So it could be whatever your little or big desire is in your community or in the world to help. They will partner with you. These are several of the top organizations that they support globally. 3 of my favorites I'm going to mention really quickly. Operation Underground Railroad. Okay. Hopefully I'll try to get through this without getting choked up. But this, if you don't know what OUR is, their purpose is to rescue children who are sex trafficked around the world. I think the world has come to realize that this is a huge problem. I didn't know this until fairly recently, but I think we all know now that sex trafficking of children, not just people and adults, which is also a problem, but children is a massive problem in our world. And OUR does amazing things. Okay, they are in 28 different countries. They've rescued thousands and thousands of children, and in 26 states. Okay, so here in the United States, this is happening, and OUR is right at the forefront of that. All right, so another one of my favorite groups they work with is Mentors International. This organization gives micro lending to small businesses just trying to get started, like typically in 3rd world countries, right? They've got a fishing organization or they build hats or whatever it is. They will give these folks little small loans, $50 loans, $100 loans. And if they pay that back, they get more. So it's a wonderful thing. The last one I'll mention is Days for Girls. Days for Girls, again, a problem I did not realize existed until I learned about Days for Girls. It is menstruation education for young girls around the world who didn't realize this, but it's terrible. It's a taboo thing in their culture, or they're not taught how to handle becoming a woman. And so what Days for Girls does is provides that education, also provides them with feminine hygiene kits. So it's a wonderful thing. Learn more about it. All right, I talked probably too much about that, but it gives you an idea of the service culture. This is actually the Healing Hands Foundation annual report from 2019. That's my lovely spouse. I wanted to share that really quick to brag on her, but that's her in Kenya. As I mentioned, her and my daughter, Madeline, went to Kenya in 2019, November, and she's on the cover. So isn't she beautiful? This is Emily Wright, one of those founders I just shared with you, one of the original founders. She was in Nepal, just to kind of give you a feel for the hearts that they have. And this is 4 of the founders. I don't know what country they were in here. I'm assuming Africa, but they go all around the world doing all kinds of good. All right. This is us in Madagascar, our family, getting to do some good. On the right there, I mentioned micro lending. So this is a small business. This woman and her daughter make hats where they can sell for a fair wage in the marketplace, and that supports their family. All right. And they receive micro loans from the organization that we were working with. And we got to witness that firsthand. And it was really awesome to be invited into their home in Madagascar. If I didn't mention that, this is in Madagascar, all right, which is a large island off the coast of Africa. And it's also a cartoon. To the left is our buddy, Sleepy. And he literally, guys, we were taking this photo. We were in a sloth reserve, whatever. And there's wild sloths all around us. And I'm not kidding you, we're taking this picture, and this sloth jumps, as the picture's being taken, he jumps in, okay, to the picture right there and looks at the camera. I'm not kidding you. This is a true story. Well, that's a true story. I'm showing you the proof, right? We did not superimpose that sloth. So that's one of our best stories. The moment right after this was like, what? We were all like this because he kind of freaked us out, but he jumped right in there and it was really cool. Now, the other cool thing about this photo that you're seeing is this would not have happened had it not been for doTERRA. If I was still working as an attorney at Nationwide, downtown Columbus, there's not a chance I would have been able to take 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks with my family and go to Madagascar, which was a dream for my wife. I am so thankful for the opportunity to do that. We're taking 3 weeks in September this year to take an RV trip out west, Grand Canyon, Southern Utah. My point is, it's provided us tremendous freedom to do the things that we would not be able to do otherwise. Okay, whatever that is for you, okay, you can make it true. So we have finished all of these bubbles, all right, all of these circles. I want to finish with, where am I out of time? Okay, so we're at 44 minutes, maybe for like 40 minutes. I'm definitely going to be less than an hour, guys, I promise. Stick with me, all right? I could juggle if you want, make it a little more entertaining, keep you around, but I'm trying to make it as inspiring as I can. So I just have a few more points to make that aren't on this slide, reasons why you would want to do doTERRA as a business, okay? So as we pivot, I'm gonna see exactly what I'm gonna be talking about. Hold on, I gotta pull up my notes here. All right, take your breath. These are some more personal reasons, okay? So if you do doTERRA as a business, without a doubt, you will achieve personal growth, all right? I mentioned some of that earlier. Going through the process of starting a doTERRA business, okay, that's what it is. It's a doTERRA business. We are business owners, all right? Will stretch you and grow you in ways you never thought possible. You will do things that you never thought you could do. You have got to regularly step up to the challenge, and there's people to support you all along the way, but you've got to step out of your comfort zone, and that is a good thing, okay? You will reach new heights in your life personally, and what you're able to do as an individual, and how you're able to help people, how you're able to expand your reach, expand your influence, okay? If you've ever wanted to expand your influence, this is for you. Now, you may be hearing me say that, and you'll go, you know what, I'm fine in my comfort zone. This whole doTERRA opportunity thing, sure, I'd love it, but I don't think I have what it takes to do this. I'm fine in my comfort zone. I don't really see myself, being some great leader, or even just being able to convince someone the oils are good for them. Here's the thing. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Let me say it one more time. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. If you feel called to do doTERRA, you're watching this video. Everyone who's watching this now, whether you're watching the recording or you're watching it live, I promise, I know for a fact, every one of you has been called in some way to do doTERRA. I think it's funny to say do doTERRA, but it is. It's a verb, and doTERRA is a noun, I guess. You've all been called. You're here. Something told you inside of you told you to spend an hour with me, okay? And it's not because of me, it's because of the doTERRA opportunity. You have been called. Doesn't matter if you're qualified. God's called you. He will qualify you. You're not qualified right now, but as you pursue it, you become qualified. So I hope that makes sense. Hope that inspires someone, all right? Let's move on to talk about money, okay? Every business must make money. Change your focus from making money to serving more people. Serving more people makes the money come in. That's what we do in doTERRA. I mentioned earlier, solutions. We provide solutions, all right? Every successful business provides solutions. People will come to you with health needs, for their kids, for themselves, lifestyle needs, financial needs, all kinds of needs, all right? You can provide a solution for them, all right? And if you serve them, because that's what we do, we serve people. If we're not serving people, we don't have a business, all right? We're not making any money. It's just the way the world works. You help someone, and if it's business, there's money to be made in it. It's just the way it should be, all right? So let's move on then. So you may be asking, what are the three pathways? That was not a great segue. All right, so whenever you think about doTERRA as an opportunity, this may be brand new to you, I don't know. But there are three types of people in doTERRA that pursue it in some way, that share doTERRA, okay? This is people who aren't just customers, all right? People who are pursuing it and sharing oils with others. There are three types of people. There are people who want to get their oils paid for, okay? There are people who want to supplement their income. And what I mean by that is you've got bills to pay, you've got debts to pay, you've got vacation you want to save for, you've got college to save for. So you're making some money, you're making some ends meet, but not quite. There's things you want to do in your life that you love to be able to do, you can't do now, okay? So there's a path for you. And then there's also a path for people who want to replace their income, do what we did, which is say, sorry, boss, I don't have time for you anymore in my schedule. Okay, replace your income or even multiply your income, all right? So those are the three pathways in doTERRA. Think about which path is for you. You're on this call. Think about which path is for you, okay? Because as you can guess, each one of these pathways requires a different level of commitment. There are different things you're going to be doing at each pathway, all right? But whatever path you choose, all right, you can fit this into the cracks of your life, right? You start doing that. I want to give an example of Carrie's mom, Lori Voss, who's a Blue Diamond leader in doTERRA, and she was a full-time teacher, okay? And she was nearing retirement, but she would rather be retiring sooner. Well, she pursued doTERRA in the cracks of her life, okay? She was a very busy teacher, but she pursued it in the spaces that she had, and she was able to build a diamond business. I think she left her job early when she was diamond. It might have even been before that, but she's now a Blue Diamond, and she was able to retire early. And her lovely husband, Mark, are traveling the world when they can travel and doing all kinds of fun things they wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So those are the three pathways. Now, don't let this slide here overwhelm you, okay? By the way, before I go to this, there are countless people on our team who have chosen all three of these pathways. Within doTERRA, there's thousands, okay, that have chosen each of these three pathways. And I'm going to show you more about that in a second here, all right? So do not let this slide overwhelm you. This is kind of the doTERRA's compensation plan in a slide. It's not meant to overwhelm you. You can kind of ignore the bottom half of that. You can take a screenshot of this if you want to peruse it for later. But what I just wanted to show you is this hill that goes up, okay? Which really typifies, when you're doing doTERRA as a business, what happens for you. You start out getting your oils paid for, you're sharing with a few people, you're maybe hosting some classes, doing maybe an online class, hosting an online class, and quickly by sharing with your friends and family, you can get your oils paid for. You look there at the bottom of that hill and you become an elite, okay? Or you don't have to know what that means, but you got about $300 a month. You're easily paying for your oils and then maybe a little bit extra. As you move up that hill, you see the rank of silver. It's about a little over $2,000 a month on average. These are averages. It's not the same for everyone. There's a little bit of a range there, but on average, about $2,000 a month. At this point, silver, you're leading three others to do what you've done in sharing with others, all right? So you're showing other people how to do that. And then as you keep moving up to platinum, you're at close to $9,000 a month. I mean, that's $9,000 a month is nothing. None of this is anything to snuff at. I don't know if that's the right verb I wanted to use, but I did. So you can see how that money can make a difference in your life, right? That is where you're helping 3 more people to do what you've already done by getting 3 people to silver. And it just keeps going from there, okay? So diamonds, blue diamonds, and presidential diamonds. You don't need to know all the details of how you get there, but it's just a matter of continuing to build into yourself, build into your team, and sharing the love of the oils with others, all right? There are, like I said, thousands of people at each one of these ranks, hundreds of people at each one of these ranks. At the higher ranks, it's more like hundreds, but you know, everything in the bottom 2/3, there's thousands of people in these ranks, okay? And who gets these ranks? Who achieves these ranks? Is it the lucky? It's not the lucky. It is the people who pursue these ranks and don't stop until they get there. Those are the people who hit these ranks, okay? So it truly is for everyone. Okay, it's just a matter of you dealing with your personal situation. All right, so let me narrow this down a little bit more when we talk about money. These are the average annual earnings of some of these higher ranks. Silver is a leadership rank. You know, it's about $30,000 a year on average. Okay, gold is about $60,000 a year. Platinum about 120, 115. Diamond 200. Blue diamond 465, and presidential diamond is gangster money. All right. So hopefully that's inspiring to someone who wants to pursue this. I'm talking to you, someone who's never seen this before, who's considering a new business opportunity. All right, look at this. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing, and you can get there. All right, let's round this out. I wanted to share this slide real quick. I wasn't going to, but I am, because I think it is important. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. I thought about this and I wasn't going to share it, but I'm like, you know what? That is absolutely true for everyone. It was true for me when I worked at Nationwide. Again, I was blessed to have that job, but I remember sitting there at my desk going, my God, I'm going to keep doing this forever. And that's not what I want to do. You know, I looked 10, 20 years down the road, and I didn't want to be in that office. Okay. I was trading my time for dollars. So the great thing about doTERRA that I saw, particularly when I went to that convention that I told you about in 2011, 2012, I saw that it provides that residual income, okay, that I can make money in that business when I was sleeping, all right? So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, all right? Let's move on. Now, here's my close, all right? I'm at about 50 minutes. I'm going to be under an hour here. Here's my close. So you're on this call, you've listened to me talk to you and yell at you for 50 minutes and try and tell you why doTERRA is so awesome. Hopefully some of this inspired you, but now you might be asking, where do I go now? Okay, where do I go now? Well, here's where you go. You start with the person who enrolled you. Okay, if you haven't enrolled yet, if you haven't even enrolled with doTERRA, enroll with doTERRA. Okay, find someone to get you enrolled. Whoever's been sharing doTERRA with you, get enrolled, get your oil, start using them. Allow them to change your life physically, emotionally, mentally, all the ways, all right? Get enrolled. And then if you are enrolled, work with the person who enrolled you and say, hey, I'm interested in doing doTERRA as a business. Are you someone who can help me? They may or may not be. If they're not, go up your upline, okay? And find someone who is, all right? Connect with them, because they will have every vested interest, every desire to help you, all right? That's the way doTERRA is set up. We all help each other. We have a vested interest in doing that, not just because we love you, but because it helps us too to share that love, all right? So work with the person who enrolled you, all right? Some tools that you can use to get started. The 2 that we recommend are the doTERRA Business Builder Guide. So this was produced by doTERRA, basically by top leaders within the company. People have been doing this for, since the beginning. Here it is right here, all right? It is it basically is an A to Z guide for how to do doTERRA. It's how do I create my contact list? How do I share samples? How do I invite people to an experience with the oils? How do I teach people about the oils? How do I get people enrolled? How do I follow up with those people? How do I support those people? Okay. How do I start building a team? All right. All of it is in this guide. You can get this on doTERRA.com. You can download it for free, or you can purchase them. They're fairly inexpensive, but it's a wonderful, wonderful color guide. that walks you through all of that stuff. Okay, no matter where you are in your journey, we recommend this guide. It is all of the best practices, guys, that all of us have been using in doTERRA boiled down into one book. All right, regardless of how you do doTERRA, it's all in here. Okay, another tool that we recommend, if you don't like working through this book, that or workbook, if that doesn't appeal to you, okay, if you would rather work through little bite-sized calls, all right, if you go to dailymentorcalls.com, dailymentorcalls.com, in fact, I think I've got a picture of that, dailymentorcalls.com. Elise Sedevi, who happens to be the most successful doTERRA leader, I think she's triple diamond, maybe triple presidential, I don't know. She has put together 50 days of business coaching. So each day you listen to a little bite-sized nugget of how to do doTERRA. It's basically this same guide, all of the principles that we all use, okay, boiled down into 50 little bite-sized calls that are free, totally free of charge. You can get registered and do it all free at dailymentorcalls.com. And at the end of each call is an action item. All right. So you listen to the call, learn, and then take an action. All right. Create a names list. Star the top 10 from that names list. Contact those top 10. Follow up with those top 10. Share them a sample. It's all of those steps that we do to get your business going. Now, if you're someone on here who has already been sharing for a while and you're looking to get new builders started, we recommend these two tools right now, okay? The business building guide and the dailymentorcalls.com, all right? It's basically the same thing, just in two different formats. It depends on what you need. Now, if you look at all this, you've listened to all this, like the person who enrolled you, the business guide, mentor calls, you still don't know where to go. We don't want you to be lost. We want you to connect with an individual live person. Reach out to me, okay? You can email me, Gary Sammons, at gary@teamsammons.com. Email me and say, hey, I watched your presentation. I loved it. You're the best. You're so good looking. And I need help now. Where can I go? All right. We will get you connected with the person you need, because the overarching lesson I have for you in this is, wherever you are, you need to have a mentor in this process. You cannot do this alone. Some people try and some people have had success, but very few do it without a mentor. Betsy Holmes was Carrie's mentor. Okay, she got that ball rolling and got it rolling strong. And you need that mentor. So I can help you find that person, whoever that is. All right. So I think I'm at the end. Yeah, I am at the end. That's the end of my slideshow. So thank you so much, everybody, I'm going to stop my share. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop my share. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I still have 26 participants in this webinar. That's fantastic. I didn't lose very many. All right, so let's go to the chat and see if we have any questions. I can see you, Gary. Welcome. I can see you, Gary, and the slide. Awesome. Well, hi from Port Clinton, Ohio. Love what we support in the Healing Hands. That is way too funny. Yes, whatever I said, it was funny. Thanks, Gary. This was awesome. So, Heather, thank you. All right, if you have any other questions, you can always email me at gary@teamsammons.com. Share this, okay, with others. We want as many people as can see this as possible. This is something that we were asked to do many times. So I'm going to do it kind of on a rotating basis. But that's a little bit of our story, a little bit of reasons why doTERRA is so great. Now, last thing I'll leave you with now is, oh, the sloth was funny. Yes, the sloth was very funny. Last thing I'll leave you with, now is the time to jump on board. The groundwork has been set. The work has been done. It's laid on a platter for you. Jump on board and get connected and join us. It's a wonderful, wonderfully fun journey, and you will have fun. All right, that's it.